Skip Bayless is a beast. He loves Tim Tebow.
Skip Bayless is paid millions of dollars to have awful opinions.
He was the only
that's the
human
whole point of the show is that
only
Shannon
human
Sharp's
being on the
picking
face
up
of the earth
the dust of him just saying erroneous content.
You shouldn't hang your hat on fucking Skip Bayless as a god because you like
Skip
Tim
Bayless
Tebow.
said that Johnny Manziel would be bigger in Cleveland than LeBron ever was.
Skip Bayless
That's
hates
enough to
LeBron.
get you fired. That's enough to get you fired.
He won't
Skip
refer to
Bayless-
Kawhi Leonard as Kawhi Leonard anymore. Just calls him number 2.
I'm ride or die with Skip Bayless because he was the only one that defended the legend, the great Tim Tebow while he was playing for the Broncos.
I mean, a moron follows a moron. It makes all sense.
Hashtag 13-4. Hashtag playoff win.
All right, so your student out of the day. Let's hear it, Pip.
So the student of the day is the worst sports talk show host of all time, Max Kellerman. This dude has issues. Today, he on First Take, Ryan can explain it a little better, but on First Take, he was quoted as saying that Kobe Bryant should not have been on this decade. Was it this decade's?
The all-decade.
NBA team?
It was the all-decade 2010s NBA teams 1, 2, and 3, and Kobe was on team 3. All NBA 2010s team 3.
Yeah, so Max Kellerman was quoted as saying that he shouldn't have even been on the list. I mean, gosh darn it. This guy needs to hang up the mic. He just needs to hang up the mic.
You legitimately believe he belonged on the all NBA all decade teams?
Yes.
I don't see how you can't
Completely
agree with Max Kellerman on
2010, 2011 season. Well, first of all, what do you value as a good stat?
You want me to tell you the amount of games he played in the 2010s decade? 2010 to 2011, they won the championship. He played 82 games. Great year. I'll give you that. He averaged, I think it was 20. I don't know. He averaged 25 a game, solid. The next year he played 58 games, averaged 27 a game, solid still, but not playing a lot of games. 2012 he played 78. Then 2013 he played 6.
So we just went. We just went 3 years where you had no debate. So keep going.
No, he was good the first 3 years, but the last 6.
See, that's
the
point. It's like how. So that's the only 3 years of the decade where his play was worth a damn, and he gets all decade for playing 30% of the decade. That makes no sense.
I don't know. I don't think so. 2014 was a horrible season. I guess his last year was too.
His last 5 years.
No, he didn't. So he didn't play. He played 6 games in 2013-14. So he's clearly not giving himself any reason to be named to an all-decade team, given he didn't play more than 6 games that year. The next year he played 35 games, and the year after that he played 66 games. But he was one of the most inefficient players in NBA history. He shot the ball about 28 times per game, and he had a field goal percentage of 35.8%. That is like begging the other team to just rebound, push, and score often. Not to mention his 3-point percentage was under 30%, and he jacked up about 5 threes a game. He was awful. He was absolutely atrocious that year.
Well, I think
you could take a look at the stats, and you could see that he averaged 17.6 points a game. You could be like, oh, well, that's still good enough to earn him all. That is so misguided considering how many shots he took and how much he hogged the ball.
Well, here's the thing, guys. He didn't play. First of all, he didn't play 10 years. Like a decade is 10 years, so he only played 6 out of the 10 years. So we're judging him on 6 of the years, which is.
And he was awful in 3 of them. Okay, so he didn't play in 1, and then he was bad in 2. So how the hell? So you're really looking at 3 years right now, and the 3 good years wins you an all-decade. That makes no sense to me.
Guys, he won the championship in 2010. He averaged 25 points, 27 points, 27 points. His efficiency field goal percentage, which takes into account 2-point normal field goals, normal buckets and field goals, was around 50%, which is a really, really good mark. The guy, plus, he was the leader of the team. I mean, the guy, he's Kobe Bryant. How do you not put him on that team?
See, that's the biggest thing that's getting in the minds of all Kobe fans is that Kobe Bryant didn't make an all-decade team. Like if he were to be playing now and he wouldn't make an All-NBA team for 2018-19, would you say, oh, he's Kobe Bryant, he has to be? Well, no, the guy's 40 years old. He shouldn't be. He was awful. Just because Kobe Bryant's still playing in the NBA and averaging over 15 points a game does not mean he deserves to be in these records like that.
I'll give you this. If he played, say he played until 2020 and he had the same stats that he was trending towards, yeah, I'd agree with you. But at the end of the day, 3 out of the 6 years that he played in this decade were unbelievable.
That's the first 3 years of a 10-year span. How
he
does that
play
make?
10, you're not rating him out of 10 years.
So
he played
so
6 years in the decade.
That makes no sense. You're saying that all you need is 3 years to make an all-decade team? 3 years out of 10, 30%. Yes. Really, we're getting that right.
Yes, if you're Kobe Bryant, that's all you need.
Because of your name, clearly it has nothing to do with play because he was awful his last 2 years, and the third to last year he didn't even play. So you're saying you need 3 years and a name to make an all-decade team. That's what you're saying?
It's completely disrespectful.
Oh, my God. It's the disrespect, and it's the Kobe didn't make some award list that makes you all crazy. You don't actually look at the numbers. He was awful.
I did look at the numbers. 3 out of the 6 years that he played great.
And I agree with you, but 30% of the years does not make it enough to win a decade award.
And the other years, I mean, he didn't play all, like 2014. He didn't. Oh, one of the years he was completely hurt, which isn't his fault. Is that the year he ruptured his? Yeah, he tore his Achilles. That's not his fault. So that's a wash. So say 3 out of the 5 years.
Okay, like I'm not saying it was his fault that he got hurt, but it doesn't we're talking about awards here. You need to be active. You need to do something very good for your team in the NBA and in stats to win it, and he didn't.
I agree.
Is Chris Paul on this list?
And also his championship was technically in the 2009-2010 season, so you can almost even not count that. You can almost not count that.
Exactly.
Because that's technically the 2009 season if you go retroactive for the day it started. But, I mean, the guys who should be on there over Kobe Bryant, Klay Thompson, I'd make an argument that Klay Thompson belongs on that. Klay Thompson's been in the league.
Was Melo on the list?
Melo's second team.
Okay.
Klay Thompson's been in the league since 2011. So he's been in the league for all but 1 year of the decade. And he's averaged above 15 points every year since his rookie year. He absolutely belongs in the roster over Kobe Bryant.
And he has more championships.
And he's an elite defender.
You make good arguments, but he's Kobe. I mean, like when you shoot.
No, you can't. No.
But that's the only argument you have is his name. That's what's ridiculous about this.
When you shoot
about
a piece
this
of
whole
trash
thing.
in the garbage, you're saying Kobe. Like that, it's Kobe Bryant. Like you know what I mean? It's Kobe Bryant.
Okay, but so the year in 2013-14 when he played 6 games, should he have been the MVP of the league?
No.
But he was Kobe Bryant, so I don't understand what you're talking about.
It's a wash. That year's a wash.
But he's Kobe Bryant. That's all you need, right?
So I love Derek Jeter, but the last couple of years of Derek Jeter's career, he should not have been an all-star, but he was continuously voted as an all-star. I understand the respect thing. Kobe Bryant's a top 15 player of all time, but he...
And all of us love him on here. It's not about that. We're not disrespecting him by saying he doesn't belong on a list where he was at the tail end of his career. His best days were behind him. He got old. He got hurt. And he was on an awful team where they let him shoot all the time.
And at the end of the day, Kobe Bryant, at the tail end of his career, is probably one of the more overrated players at the back end of his career. Kobe Bryant, like I said, all-time great. But the Kobe stans that believe Kobe's the GOAT, all right, come on. He's nowhere near on the same level as MJ, as LeBron, as Wilt, as Larry Bird. He's not on their level.
You made some good points. We're gonna move on to the random question of the day. Also brought to you by Thomas. Thomas thought about this, but we might have 2 random questions. You want to start? Let's start with the Italian question of the day. We got a question from my buddy, my pal, Mitchell Patterson.
From your
Houston,
paisan.
Texas. Go Cougs. Go Cougs for my paisan. Go Cougs. Shout out Cougs. Yeah, so Mitchell Patterson DM'd us. What does a paisan mean?
Well, my friend, you, Mitchell, are a paisan. It's just that's the exact definition of the word. It's a countryman. It's a brother. It's an Italian brother. And actually, although I'm realizing now he's probably not Italian, that's not the point. It's just if you're a brother, if you're someone we mess with, we bull with, you're a paisan.
Yeah. And anybody that I mean, come on. He's a paisan. Mitchell, even though you live
we'll extend paisan to those that are not Italian, of Italian descent. We'll extend that.
Yeah, we got to extend it. We got to make paisan the thing.
Big family. One big family.
Exactly.
It's the new boy. Yo, he's my boy. No, he's my paisan.
He's a paisan.
Short for paisano.
So I'm glad we cleared that up. What's the second question of the day, Pippin?
Yeah, so the second question of the day is, are you a true fan if you wear an opposing team's apparel?
In what context?
Well,
Depends on the team.
So, like, if I'm a Yankees fan, if I'm wearing, like, I have a Diamondbacks hat.
I want you
if
to
I
give
if
your
I'm wearing a
opinion
Diamondbacks
first.
hat, what does that mean?
That's you're allowed to do that. I just want to see what you guys think first.
Absolutely.
I don't see the problem with wearing other teams' apparel as long as, like,
So the Red Sox. Or
all right, like, definitely no rivals. You can't wear. I can't have any sort of excuse for me wearing a Red Sox hat. That's just unacceptable because I'm a Yankee fan. I think as long as you're not wearing a rival's apparel and your team is not playing the team whose apparel you're wearing. So, like, if the Yankees are playing the Diamondbacks and I'm wearing the Diamondbacks hat, that's wrong. Outside of that, I think it's a go.
Angelo, what do you think?
I don't see a problem with it. I mean, I'm a Steelers fan, but some of my favorite players are not on the Steelers. And then I'm a Yankees fan, but I have some other players that I love that are not Yankees. And I root for the Knicks, but LeBron James is my favorite basketball player, so I have his jersey. I don't think it's a problem as long as you're not wearing rivals. I agree with Ryan completely.
Okay, here's my take on this subject. I have 3 laws. These are laws of not wearing other teams' apparel. There's laws. Like, you cannot if you break one of these laws, you're not a true fan. Period. End of story.
Unless you're drinking Claws. There's no laws. You're drinking Claws.
No
One, true.
Claws, that's
Shout
facts.
out White Claw. 1, if you're playing an opposing team and you're at the game or watching it on TV or just at home and about, walking around the streets, and you wear the other team's apparel, you got issues. You're not a true fan. That's 1. 2, you cannot wear an article of clothing from a team in the same division or league. Division or league. So
you can't wear an Orioles hat?
Disagree.
No. I cannot.
They're
wear
in
an
last
Orioles
place,
hat.
and they're no threat to the Yankees. I mean, it's a bad example considering the Yankees are playing the Orioles right now. But in a week, you can't wear an Orioles hat.
No, there's no excuse for wearing an Orioles hat.
You could say it's a fire hat, and they're no threat to us. It doesn't matter.
There's no. If you wear an Orioles hat, you're not a true fan.
So I can't wear an A's hat because they're in the same league.
No. League. Well, I'm saying league because there's sports that don't just have divisions.
Okay, fair. So as close to a division as you can get.
Yeah. So
what about if you're a Giants fan? Can you wear a Cardinals hat? Because they're in the NFC.
Okay, so I'm going to get to my third law. My third law is if your team is potentially going to face another team in the playoffs or championship game, said article of clothing must never be worn during that season. Never. Never.
Pip, you're wrong.
Not true.
Sorry. Like, I'm sorry. Just
wait. Never, ever.
So, for example, I'll give you 2 examples. For example, Jose Altuve is one of my favorite players in the MLB. He's short. I'm short. I like short guys. You know what I'm saying? But he's one of my favorite players, and we're tight. I have him. He's a paisan.
Okay.
I have a Jose Altuve jersey, right? But I will never. I have not touched it this entire year. A, because Astros and the Yankees have been a little bit of heated rivalry. B, they're on a collision course to see each other.
So at what point? What year can you start wearing his shit again?
I don't know, man. It's going to be a little while because both teams are going to be good.
Seems like you need to get your
like
your
right now,
laws in order.
like potentially, like
shout out Law and Order.
Say I liked anybody on the Twins. Say I had a Twins Michael Pineda jersey. I can't touch that Twins Michael Pineda jersey because there's a very strong.
You don't have to worry about that because no one has a Twins Michael Pineda jersey on.
There's a very strong chance that we see the Twins in the playoffs.
Oh my God, no one cares. So like, I don't think that it's a problem if you wear a Jose Altuve jersey as long as it's not when the Yankees are playing the Astros. I think that's fine. And like, I understand. So in 2017, when the Astros beat the Yankees, if you're wearing it in the offseason, that's kind of the bad taste because the last game the Yankees played in the playoffs was losing the Astros. So I understand that too. But if it's in the regular season, you're not playing the other team whose apparel you're wearing, I don't think it's a problem. As long as they're not in the same division.
I agree.
I'm in LA right now. I'm going to be going to a Dodgers game, and I love Cody Bellinger, but I think the Yankees are going to be facing the Dodgers in the World Series. I'm not going to touch an